This piece is affectionately known as the guilt jar. When I first reopened the studio, I wanted to see what clay, what glaze, and what techniques would work well. So this was actually simply a test piece. I was experimenting with creating voids all the way through the vessel, making lidded forms, and testing underglazes and glazes and slip trail in a whole range of surface treatments. I was simply going to discard the piece when I had finished. However, at some point, it became an important little vessel. It was brought to my attention that I often refer to feeling guilty about things that I don't actually need to feel guilty about. As I considered this and recognized, yes, that is one of my beautiful traits, the jar that I'd created as a test piece was actually the guilt jar, a little bit like a swear jar. Every time you felt guilty about something you had no reason to feel guilty about, you could write it on a beautiful little card and pop it straight in the jar. At some point, you would open the jar and see the patterns of misplaced guilt, unwarranted guilt, and waste of time guilt. However, when I popped my first card into the guilt jar, the card didn't pop back out. I tipped it up and shook the jar, and still the guilt stayed in the jar. Well, wasn't that a thing? I could pop all the things I was feeling guilty about that was misplaced, unwarranted, unjustified, and poof, they went away, never to return. I even considered dropping a match into the jar to see them burn, but then I felt guilty about that and decided not to. Sculpture by Cheryl-Ann Webster, Sculpting Emotions.